it's in, or just a best of one, or then going forward, like best of series later on. What do they change here? I mean, it sounds like the draft wasn't really the problem. Do they just say, hey, let's just calm down a little bit and move on, let's just focus on the game? Or do they say, hey, let's just try something completely new in terms of the draft?
I mean, I wouldn't mind that, and that's what I was saying before. I wouldn't mind a little bit of that innovation, that little bit of flair that they used to have, particularly with like Ice 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 and letting them really explore that off lane a bit and have some fun. Because as it stands right now, I mean, maybe just because of the implications of that match, they just felt a bit on edge, a bit miscommunicated. I hope they're able to shake that off and have a bit more fun with it, but it's hard to say. They take this game very, very seriously. All these players do. I'm sitting there eating lunch, and half of them are already eliminated, and they're getting tears in my eggs. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, so you can just see the passions there. So I don't know, after you take a hard hit like that and you kind of accept the fact that's okay, we're going to have to battle it out now through best of ones. You know, maybe they will consider changing things up here for Game 2.
Yeah, what do you think, Ben? I mean, again, this is something we've discussed time and time again throughout this week. Was it the draft, or even if the draft wasn't the problem, bringing in that fresh air through the draft, does that help the team?
Yeah, it's not. I definitely don't think it's a draft. I mean, last year they had ROTK as their leader, and ROTK, as we well know, is a very animated guy. He seems pretty happy-go-lucky and just generally great at boosting his team's morale. And I was watching their picture cam as we were going to the game, and Ice 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 was the only one who's like laughing and looking pretty jolly. And in general, he's pretty much the only one who interacts a lot, I think, with a lot of the non-Chinese players and community. So I hope that they can take some of his vibe, some of his aura, and not go too hard on themselves, not like get too heated about disagreements about who was right, who was wrong in a certain call in the game, and just have faith in one another, play as a team.
All right, and as you just saw on the screen, quick update is that IG beat Na'Vi in the very first game of their series, so 1-0, only one game left. I believe that still has implications with Complexity beating Fnatic. Between IG and Fnatic, who gets to be in the top half of the bottom four?
Yeah, it's something if IG are able to 2-0 Na'Vi here, which a lot of people weren't sure was going to happen, but they actually looked really good in
Ferrari
game 1.
went godlike.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, yeah, IG was looking a little bit rocky throughout this week, but it sounds like we do have a highlight. Before we take a look at the standings, we'll jump and check out how that game panned out for IG versus Na'Vi in Game 1.
Bowling from far away, and you force the song team.
And Storm Spirit is out of control. Ferrari is mega farmed and has slayed so many of Navi's heroes. I think it was like a 15-2 start, if not worse, for Na'Vi, and they're just struggling to get any sort of kills, even with some very aggressive heroes like Bloodseeker and Queen of Pain.
I don't think they had the right supports as well to deal with the Brood. The Brood might have actually caught